Long time ago in a faraway kingdom, there ruled a mighty king named Mamba. Mamba ruled the great kingdom called Esa. He had a twin brother named Sama, who ruled the Ulu kingdom. These two great kingdoms were separated by a large river, but the people of the kingdoms lived in harmony and had easy passage to each other. The two great kingdoms were originally one, but got separated when the king died. He was the father of Mamba and Sama. Mamba and Sama had entirely different personalities and aspirations. Mamba had a strong interest in trading, while Sama loved the battlefield. Their conflicting interests made them separate the kingdom, but still lived in harmony. Esa Kingdom, which was ruled by King Mamba, was a major exporter of gold and cedar. They supplied these natural resources to kingdoms near and far. Esa Kingdom flourished greatly and grew to fame. This pleased King Mamba, as he wanted nothing but a peaceful kingdom that flowed with milk and honey. Ulu Kingdom, on the other hand, was more involved in slave trade and war machineries. King Sama derived pleasure in conquering nations and enslaving the people of those nations. A great number of the men in his kingdom served in his army. Only a few were farmers and fishermen. Ulu Kingdom was also famous, but was not to be compared to Esa Kingdom. King Mamba of Esa Kingdom was blessed with 10 beautiful daughters, but had no son. He loved his daughters dearly and never for once brooded over the fact that he had no son. The princesses were known far and wide for their enchanting beauty. Many great kings and princes had come to seek for their hands in marriage. But the princesses, though beautiful, humbly turned down their proposals, as they knew that their intentions weren't pure. They only wanted the resources of the land. The people of Esa Kingdom loved the princess greatly, as they had gentle and loving characters like their father the king. Although Esa Kingdom flourished greatly, their army was nothing to write home about, so they depended on Ulu Kingdom for protection against their enemies. King Sama, on the other hand, birthed 10 sons who were notorious warlords like their father. These princes expanded Ulu's kingdom and conquered more nations. They also derived pleasure in partying and womanizing. As soon as they returned from battles, they would throw a magnificent banquet with only beautiful women invited. The fame and prosperity Esa Kingdom enjoyed started to make King Sama jealous. Although he was feared and had a larger territory, but King Sama was more richer and respected than him. Kindly subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and if you have, thank you so much for your support. Every day, he would think of how he can measure up to his brother. This made him restless and had sleepless nights. One day, when his sons came back from battle, he called them to his chamber and shared his worries with them. But his sons advised him to think well about it before acting, and they were ready to go to battle for him. That same week, King Mamba threw a banquet at his palace and invited his brother King Sama and his 10 sons to the party. On the day of the banquet, the princesses were all beautifully adorned from head to toe. They stood out differently from all the women that graced the occasion. King Sama's sons, who had came to the banquet with the sole purpose of laying with the most beautiful women, were completely mesmerized by the princess's beauty, that they looked at no other women but the princesses. When they got back to their palace, they couldn't stop talking about the princess's beauty. King Sama was surprised at his son's admiration for the princesses because he had never seen them adore a woman so lovingly, except using them to quench their manly desires. He had to call the princes to order and warn them to shut out their desires for their cousins. But their father's warning changed nothing. Instead, the love grew fonder in their hearts.
As they could no longer get attracted to other women, they stopped throwing lavish banquets and got rid of all the ladies that satisfied them. King Sama saw his son's desires as an opportunity to gain control over Esa kingdom. So, he visited his brother and told him of his wish for his sons to marry the princesses, and if King Mamba refuses, he would withdraw his soldiers from Esa kingdom and wage war against them. King Mamba felt troubled because he could not allow his daughters to get married to his brother's sons. So, he decided to inform the queen and his daughters. When he told them about this, they were all unhappy with what they heard, but they know what King Sama was capable of doing. Even if they joined forces with armies of other nations, they can never defeat the Ulu Kingdom army. The princesses agreed to help their father by getting married to King Sama's sons. The wedding of the princes and the princesses was an elaborate one. Great kings and queens, nobles and wealthy men across the globe graced the occasion. Despite how colorful the occasion was, King Mamba and his family were in sorrow. The wedding lasted for 5 days, and on the 5th day, the 10 princesses left their homes and followed King Sama and the princes to their kingdom. Unknown to any of the kings and their families, one of King Sama's enemies had sent deadly assassins to kill the princes on their wedding night, as the security of Ulu Kingdom was weak due to the celebration. The assassins gained access into the palace easily and positioned themselves well, lying in wait for the princes. When it was night time, the assassins waited in the newlyweds' room so as to carry out their evil plan. Immediately the princes and the princesses entered their chamber. The assassins came out of their hiding place and slayed the unarmed princes, but only inflicted minor injuries on the princesses because they were innocent and their father was known to be a good king. As soon as the assassins carried out their evil plans and left, the princesses screamed at the top of their voices. But before the guards could arrive at the scene, the assassins had escaped. King Sama couldn't believe his ears when he was called from his room that the princes were dead. He ran to their chambers and saw his 10 sons lying lifeless, with their brides wailing in pain. He fell immediately to the ground and wept bitterly. King Mamba arrived at King Sama's palace the following day to sympathize with his brother and also to get his daughters back since their husbands were dead. And that was how King Sama lost his sons and gained nothing. If you enjoyed the story, kindly hit the like button, share with your friends and families, drop your thoughts in the comment section, and please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.